Alright, good morning everybody. Today I'm going to show you guys, I haven't done a real instructional video on how to do it, but I got an old, or not old, but I mean a cheaper spotting scope. I don't really care for the pattern too much. It's a little glossy. I don't know if you guys can see, it kind of shines a little bit. Probably will maintain some of that glossiness, but I just wanted to match the equipment that I have already. So I'm going to go ahead and do a sponge camo paint job on this. As you can see, I've already taped off all the areas that I do not want paint. Keep this piece right here, which tells you a little bit about the spotting scope, same as right here. I'm going to get rid of the shiny here and this shiny here. So stay tuned. I'm going to walk you through the process. Step one would be tape off any areas that you do not want paint. I got up here my 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 marks, so I can still tell how far I'm zooming in. But other than that, first step one is to tape off any areas you do not want. Step two is going to be, we're going to go ahead and clean this and get it ready for paint. So what I like to use is this TSP substitute. Let's get you a nice rag. Clean all areas that you want to be painted. Clean them off so that the paint adheres fairly well. So what I do is I just take this, dip it in there, I get a nice little wet spot on top of the rag, and then I just go ahead and start wiping it down. And then after you wipe it down, just make sure you give it enough time to dry. But this gets all the oils and anything you do not want on the item that you're painting. This I'm painting this spotting scope today, but you can use these same tips to paint anything that you want. Like I've done my rifles already. I've done a couple of my rifles. I did a couple scopes that went on those rifles, so it all matched. I did the I got a free flow upper rail for an AR. I did that as well, just because I didn't want black. I wanted a black and tan look. So yeah, so like I said, we're gonna clean. We're gonna go ahead and let this dry since I got it all cleaned off. And then we're gonna come back and we are going to spray it with a nice tan base coat.
All right, everybody, let it dry. I'm gonna be using this Rust-Oleum Camouflage Flat. This is tan, not the khaki. This is actually just the tan. And we're gonna go ahead and hit we're gonna go in layers when we do the base coat. You don't wanna get ahead of yourself and just do all in one coat at one time. You wanna do it in layers and let the paint dry as it goes. So here we go. You want to do nice even strokes, and if it is does a little splatter like that, that's all right. After you do a couple of these coats, it'll get rid of that. It'll cover it up real nice. So that's the first layer. We're going to go ahead and let that dry. After that, we'll hit it again, and then I'll return once we get to the other side. All right, we went ahead and turned the spotting scope around, and we're going to go ahead and hit it the other side with a nice light base coat. And if there is any black still showing, don't worry about that. That will get covered up as you apply more coats.
Okay, we went ahead and put our second and third coats on. As you can see, it's still glistening, meaning it's still wet. But as you can see, there is no black on the top as of right now. You can see the black on the bottom. We'll get to the bottom after this top coat dries. You just want to make sure you do light, even coats. Because if you put the nozzle of the spray can too close, you could have some drips, and that's what you want to avoid. You do not want to put it on too thick to where your paint starts dripping.
Okay guys, as you can see, we got it flipped over. We're going to go ahead and do the same thing that we did for the top, we're going to do for the bottom. And remember, clean, smooth sprays. Do not rush it. Patience is key when you're painting anything. Some people want instant gratification and just want it to be done, but when it comes to spray painting or painting anything, patience is your friend. You want to just be patient, and the more patient that you are, the better it will turn out.
Okay, here we go. Top coat is on. As you can see, second and third coats are on. Still wet. We're going to let that dry. And then that will complete the spotting scope having its base coat put on. Alright, so we're using some black. Just same. This is Krylon instead of Rust-Oleum, but this is just black flat. Find you a piece of cardboard that you want. You're going to want to get you some sponges. These are the natural sponges. I bought these from Hobby Lobby. What you're going to do is you're going to spray a real thick amount in one area. And then you're going to take your sponge and you're going to put it in there. And as you do that, then you're just going to slowly start dabbing it all over the item that you want to be camoed. You just keep doing that until you get the camo pattern that you're looking for. You can use two different types of sponges if you want to break it up a little bit more, and the more you do it, the more digital it becomes. Alright, I just got the black laid on. Now I'm going to put this olive drab green on there just to break it up a little bit more, give it a little bit more contrast, make it a little bit more digital. Alright, the sponge job is complete. Now you just gotta wait for it to dry. And once it dries, then we are going to put a clear coat on it. And I can't stress enough, I prefer these natural sponges from Hobby Lobby. I did try the a commercial sponge that you use to clean dishes with, and it just doesn't give it a as good of a breakup. Doesn't look as natural to me, like an actual digital camo or something like that. So it's up to you. You can use whatever sponges you want. I just prefer, like I said, these ones from Hobby Lobby. Once they get paint on them like this, you can just snip the top off and reuse them. That's up to you though, you know, it's all personal preference. But like I said, we're just gonna wait for this to dry. After it dries, we'll be back to hit it with some clear coat. Alright, today I'm using the Rust-Oleum's Painter's Touch Ultra Matte Clear. This is gonna give it that final coat, help it be more durable in the sunlight. Also, when you're walking around doing anything that you're doing, help the paint not come off. This is just what I have right now. Usually I use the clear enamel, but this has been working just fine. So same thing that we did earlier, we're going to put nice even coats on this. I usually do 3 to 4 coats just to give it the durability, but at the end of the day it's user's preference, so we'll come back after we put these coats on. Alright everybody, as you can see, there is the tripod that I did yesterday. Got it from Goodwill. And then here's the spotting scope. The matte, clear matte is still kind of tacky, but it's pretty much what you're going to get with the finished product. All the taped areas are off. I'll give you a little distance right there. So when I get in that tall grass, where typically I'm at majority of the time. They blend in a little bit better. That's pretty much what the finished product is. This is how you can turn your ordinary spotting scope, rifle, or anything that you really want into something pretty, anything that's something that's pretty, gives it a better and cooler look. All right, there it is, guys. Do-it-yourself sponge camo paint job. There's many colors that you could use, many differentiations of the way you would like to do it. It's all user preference. So what you like, make it yours. This is a tripod that I've done. And then this is, you know, the actual spotting scope mounted onto the tripod, as you can see. So got good symmetry, good blending on that. So maybe when I am tucked in, like I said, wherever I'm doing my glassing from, helps me be tucked in. So one, I use it for being camouflage, but I also like the aesthetic appeal of it not being like everybody else's. I like to be a little different. And like I said, I used, I don't know, $10, $15 worth of spray paint, and I think the sponges are $5 at Hobby Lobby. So very doable. If you're on a budget and you don't have enough money to go buy one of those fancy camo stocks for your rifles, or you don't have, you know, a lot of money to go buy one of these tripods. This tripod I actually found at Goodwill yesterday for $4.99. So if anybody out there looking for a tripod for a spotting scope, maybe you want to make one for a gun mount for you coyote or predator hunters, or maybe deer hunters out there, you guys like to use tripods, always check out your Goodwill, see if they have them. I've got plenty of them there for cheap. Like I said, $4.99 is about the most I've ever paid for one, and they're very, very good tripods. So especially for what you need them for $4.99, what can you expect? You know, I'm not looking for one of these bog pods, or even some of these other higher end ones, like a trigger stick. Trigger stick's very cool. I would like to have one eventually, but right now this is going to do the job. I used one that I made into a gun mount, and I have one that's in the truck, and I use that actually to kill my first coyote. So you guys stay tuned. I'll have more stuff like this. If you guys want to see me paint anything or a different style of painting, you just put it down in the comments. Let me know what you guys want to see. If you guys have any videos that you want me to do, any reviews on a certain product, or any other do-it-yourself tips that you guys want, let me know. I have done a lot of things on my own just because I like to build stuff and make it functionable, and I don't think you need all that fancy gear to get things done. So stay tuned. Thank you for watching. Give me a like, share, subscribe if you're new to watching. If you're not, just keep watching. I'll stay tuned, and thank you for watching, guys. Talk to you next time.